through, which is kind of a crazy experience. Hi, everybody. Welcome to 4th of July. They're halfway through. It's crazy to think we're halfway through the year right now. As this week at Crown, when I kind of reflected on that, just a reminder to sort of embrace the opportunity of what's left. The second half is usually, in our markets is our better half. It's a better season. It's a better opportunity, which makes it really fun. And also does some pretty cool things for your business. So hopefully there's really good opportunities for you to kind of take control of that moving forward. 4th of July was an experience. I hope you all had a fun time. My kids I think we only counted 2 burns from fireworks, so I feel like that was a win. And other than that, we just kind of had a busy weekend. I ended up showing a lot of property, which is a great problem to have on the 4th of July. So I'm not going to be upset about that at all. However, now it's back to the grind, and here we are, right? So welcome to the July all-team meeting. We want to give a special opportunity just for kind of some celebrations and different things that you guys have going on. You can throw them in the chat. You can come off mute. Just a way for you to kind of share a little bit about what's going on in your world and opportunities for us to kind of celebrate with you. I don't know if anybody's got anything they're willing to share or are celebrating, but if so, we would love to hear it.
Potentially have a first listing coming up. So
Yeah, there you go, Jared. Well done. Jared
just
is one of our newest agents out of Fargo, by the way. So congratulations.
thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anybody else got something fun and exciting?
Keegan said that she has 3 listings going active this week. That's the most she's ever had in 1 week.
Holy buckets, that's a win and a half.
That's fantastic.
That's super awesome. I love that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. We got Tom coming in here. Let me drop Tom
Got
into
it.
a thank you. Anybody else got something fun they want to share?
I got my license.
That's also a big deal, Logan. Thank you. I was like, this is a big deal. Holy buckets. That's a huge deal. Finally got license and MLS access, which is the other cool thing. So, which is awesome. Okay, limited celebrations today, which is totally fine.
We're all recovering from 4th of July still, I think.
And that's very fair, actually. So, anyway, kind of the fun of it all. So, anyway, wishing you guys the best. One big celebration we want to make sure that we highlight. And I thought we did this. I'm not sure that we did. So I said, let's do it again because it's worthy of a big moment of awesomeness. Anyway, our Park Rapids team had officially won the best of the best in their market space up here. It is a community voted situation. And what's really neat is not only did the office win the best of the best, but our very own Mrs. Keegan Curtis also won the best real estate agent as voted on by the community members. And so that was an incredible honor. I wanted to make sure that we had space to actually, kind of talk about that in a way that was enlightening and uplifting because that's a big deal. I know that there was a lot of people trying and vying for it. And because of the excellence that these people bring up, there was an opportunity to win there, which was really great. So just wanted to give a special shout out to y'all, making sure that you remember how great you are. So the other thing we want to take a moment to celebrate on is our IPA winners, right? So our Impact Performance Awards for June. And it's been busy, which is great. So congratulations, Barb and Jay. I see that you guys are on here. Tom, Keegan Kelly, and I think that's it. Ashley Nelson, I think, is in the Cayman Islands. Erica just moved into a new house. And that's all I know where everybody else is. So anyway, congratulations to you guys on another great month in June. So we'll continue to pick that up moving forward. But this is an excellent way. Just as a reminder for you guys on this, The way that you get the awards for this, right? The ability to win the IPA award is 7 actions that have come together, right? So that's buyer reps, listing contracts, closings, referrals, and community service or
Purchase
community impact. Purchase
purchase
agreement.
agreements.
Thanks. I was like, I feel like I'm missing one. Oh yeah, those pesky purchase agreements that we all actually care about. So that's another way for you to go ahead and actually get them, which is pretty cool. So I just kind of wanted to walk you through that and just share some pretty exciting stuff in that space. So congratulations to everybody there as well. We wanted to wish happy birthday, of course, and Anthony, I believe, was in the room. I think he's still in the room, is he?
Yep, I see him.
Anthony, happy birthday, which is super fun. Anthony's up in our Crosby office today, which is super exciting. So hope you're doing something fun, my friend. Beth down in Sock Center is tomorrow, and Aaron Olson in Alexandria, and then Ken and Alec as well. So happy birthday. It's weird. I actually thought there would be more July birthdays than there is, but that's okay. Extra special for the 4 of you. So happy birthday, you guys. Now, the other thing we want to make sure we talk about here is an opportunity for some fun, whether you like it or not. Forced family fun is what we call it sometimes, and this is an opportunity for it. Unfortunately, I can't force you to do it, but it's still an opportunity for you to have some fun. This is something we had done many years ago, and then we didn't do it, and then several people said, hey, could we do that again? And we said, sure, let's see what we can do. So August 1st, which I believe is a Saturday, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a Saturday, down in Glenwood, Minnesota. So if you're unfamiliar, Glenwood is about 15 miles south of Alexandria on beautiful Lake Minnewaska. We will rent a boat to go putz around for a couple of hours on Lake Minnewaska with some cocktails and some appetizers and just a time to kind of enjoy the water, because there's not a lot of times to do that as real estate agents in the lake markets. So it's a chance for you just to kind of come together and get to know people from other offices and just sort of come hang out and enjoy your time. So this is a +1 event, but I do need you to RSVP. Taylor is the one who's tracking all of that. So she would be the one that we're looking forward to getting a number and account back on, just to make sure that we have the adequate number and spacing. So that's kind of the story there. So please put that on your calendars and let Taylor know. She's the OA down in Alec and Sock. So just let her know in the event that you can come. And I don't see her on the call right now. So I don't know. Do we want to know if people are not coming? Katie, what do you think? Or do we only care if they're coming?
Just if they're coming. Yep.
We only care if you're coming, because you're all going to come. So it's going to be great. And if we run out of boat space, what a great problem to have. There's a bar and a patio and a beach and ice cream shop not that long away. So there's lots of fun things that we'll be able to do in the meantime. So that's the story there.
Yep, Brandon, for those of us coming from a ways away, is there hotels or somewhere to stay in the area?
Oh, there most definitely is. Yes. So there in Glenwood itself, there is Grand Stay. There's another one, but I don't remember who it is. There is another one somewhere, but I don't remember which one it is. So anyway, otherwise you can go up to Alec and there's a slew of them up there. But yeah, there is a hotel right in Glenwood. So if you are a lightweight or you don't like to travel that far because you like to go to bed really early, then staying in Glenwood would probably be your best option. Otherwise, Alec has plenty of hotels as well. So Barb says stay at the Grand Stay. It's a nice hotel. They have decent, I think they have breakfast too, actually, now that I think about it. So anyway, the Grand Stay is a good option for you. Okay. What else do we have on that? Anything else?
I think that's it. Biggest thing is RSVP by July 10th to Taylor. Otherwise, we can't guarantee that we can get you on the boat, but we'll try.
It's an opportunity for awesomeness. That's what I can tell you. So, okay. So one of the things I thought would be a little different today is, hold on here. I wanted to have an opportunity to talk to you about, but I got to figure this isn't going to work right here. So hold on here. KT, take over for 2 seconds while I figure something out here.
Can do. Well, Brandon's figuring out his stuff. I wanted to, this email came out just yesterday from the Realtors Association. So if you haven't seen it, it's probably in your inbox somewhere. They are doing Unite in the cities on October 7th and 8th, but they have an early access sale that is only July 13th through the 15th. And so you can buy your tickets for $275 instead of the regular $400 price. For those of you who haven't been to Unite before, this is a Minnesota get together of the Realtors Association. There's a bunch of speakers that are there. There's fantastic networking that happens. There's 6 CE credits that you can take, up to 6. So you don't have to sit in front of a computer. You can be in a classroom with people from all over the state who are in the industry. Has anyone been to Unite before? We know Brandon has.
I have.
Yes. What did you think?
I loved it, but mostly the networking aspect over the CE credits. But that's a cool bonus. But the networking was where it's at for me personally.
Mhm. That's great. So if you're thinking about going, please do. It's a really great way to network and get some referrals from other areas, right? And especially from the city's agents, being that Northern Minnesota agent to get referrals from there for their clients, is super helpful. So if you haven't gone, please go. Quick update on forms changes. Forms changes in Minnesota go into effect August 1st. So they're not into effect yet, but I wanted to just give you a heads up on what forms has changed. There hasn't been any significant changes to anything. So I know you'll see the listing contract on here, the facilitator services agreement, the purchase agreement. There's no significant changes. It's just wording changes on these pieces. Specifically in the listing contract, they put in definitions about IDX and the VOW feeds and what exactly they are to better match what the MLS has. I doubt that your clients care about that. To be quite honest, there's no legal piece that we need to worry about there. But they did come out with some new forms, which are going to be fairly helpful. The addendum to the listing contract, additional signatures page, because some of us have when we have listings or buyers reps where a whole family's buying or a whole family's selling, or mom and dad died and they had 16 kids and all those 16 kids are married, and then you have to get 32 signatures. So that's fun. They now have an additional signatures page, which is fantastic. They came out with an additional signatures page to the purchase agreement and the disclosure statement last year. And so now they've done the listing contract as well. Then they also did an agent material fact disclosure. So, per our licensing law, we are required to disclose material facts that our sellers will not. Period. No stop, no cap. I don't know. That's what Tucker says. So they've now, instead of before, we used to like put this on a letterhead, right? We would put it on a letterhead, we would sign it, we would have the buyer sign it. And that's how we did our material fact disclosure. The association has now come out with their own form that we can just use, we can fill out in Instanet, or Transaction Desk or Transact, whichever one you're using, and go from there. One of the other new ones is a solar power system. We have more and more homes that have solar power on them, some kind of solar panels. And so they put together a disclosure statement that hits the big points of a solar panel system, like what the amperage is, if it's leased or not still, if there's a contract on your solar panels, all of those things. So if you have a property that has a solar panel, just know that this disclosure statement is available. Then the referral agreement. They have now a state referral agreement. You do not have to use it. You can use our referral agreement form that we have when you're sending or receiving referrals, but this one will be online and ready to go. It has a lot of the same information that ours does, right? I think every company has had their own referral agreement form over the last couple of years. And so they've just put all of the best things together from all those forms in there. Any questions about forms? Last year we had a really big change, so this year is going to be fairly easy. No? Okay, cool. Brandon, how are you doing?
Great.
Okay. Here's another thing that you might not have seen is North Star, which is our MLS system. They updated their rules and regulations. And so they didn't change any rules in particular, but they just updated all of their rules and regs to be more of the broader industry language. So just FYI, that went into effect on July 1st. What I did want to remind you was about deadlines on getting your information into the MLS because we are part of the association and the MLS has rules as to when we have to put properties in. I just wanted to remind everybody what those are. So when you get a new listing, your new listing needs to be in the MLS within 2 business days of the start of the contract. Now, the start of the contract can either be on the first page of the listing contract or the start date, or the date of the latest signature on the contract. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you're putting that in there, just know that, but it has to be in there within 2 business days. The date on the contract is day 0. So then that's how you count the days. Anything that happens, that's day 0. And then you have 2 days after that. Okay. So if you get a listing contract started on Monday and that's when the start date is, then you have until Wednesday at midnight to put it into the system without getting fined. However, if you start advertising that listing publicly, if you put it on Facebook, if you put signs up, then you have 1 business day to get it in the system. Essentially, we tell our agents here in Park Rapids, you have 24 hours. As soon as you put that sign up, we've got to have it in the MLS and live within 24 hours. Okay. If you get an email from North Star or an agent tells you that you have the wrong information on your listing, you have 48 hours to correct that one. I don't know why they have hours and then business days for the other things, but they do. So 48 hours to do that one. Any status changes, price change, TNAS, purchase agreement, closing, any status changes whatsoever have to be put into the system within 2 business days. So if you have agents calling you over the weekend and you accepted a purchase agreement on Saturday and they're yelling at you because it doesn't say that on the MLS, you tell them the rule is 2 business days, not 2 weekend days, 2 business days. Okay. Then listing expiration. Now, you don't want your listings expiring on the MLS because as soon as they expire, they get a whole bunch of emails and mailings from other agencies, right? So the goal is not to miss those expiration dates on your listings. However, if you do, you have 7 calendar days after the expiration to reactivate that listing. You have to have a signed extension to do that, but reactivate it within 7 calendar days. If you miss that deadline, you have to do a new listing contract and a new listing in the MLS. Okay. Any questions there? Are you guys pretty good? Pretty good. I figured everyone knew that, but it doesn't hurt to remind everybody. Don't forget when you're turning these things into our office administrators that you need to give them extra time. So while the listing input, if your property is if the listing contract starts on Monday and it doesn't need to go into the MLS until Wednesday, you should have all of your stuff to your OA by Tuesday to allow them time to be able to get it on, right? Some of our OAs put in a lot of listings for a lot of agents, and so they need to be able to handle their time well. So getting it to the OA for them to input or them to change, just be very mindful of those dates and workload. That's all. Because in the summer, we're all busy. Now, was anybody on the waterfront panel that North Star did just 2 weeks ago, Brandon, was it?
Yep.
I think so. For those of you who don't know, North Star has changed how their waterfront searches pull information. So the yes, no option, which is what I used all the time, now the yes option only applies to lakes, rivers, and creek or stream. Okay, so these first three here. If you
And
use
always has,
yes,
for the record.
and always has, okay, good to know. If you use yes, no association, no shared access, no anything will show up in your searches, particularly your automatic emails that you're sending to clients. Okay. When your client wants multiple different types of lakeshore, they don't care what type of lakeshore you get, you can click all of them. You can click all of them within the system and not use the yes, no option, and then use the or button in the search. Because if you use the and button in the search, it'll only show you properties that have lakefront and riverfront and association access. Okay. So make sure you're switching that to the or side if you're using more than one of these options. Yes, Miss
Question.
Barb. Yes.
When you say lakefront and riverfront, I mean, isn't that what we want? I guess I've done it wrong all these years.
Well, so and this is a new change within the system, right? So
Okay.
when I say lakefront and riverfront, it means that the properties that the system's looking for has lakefront and it has
Oh,
riverfront.
okay.
If it
Got it.
doesn't have both, it won't show up in the system.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Couple things to add there. The or feature on the bottom side is imperative. So a little background context for you guys. In greater Minnesota, there were a handful of us that started to ask questions of North Star. And because of relationships, we would call and whatever else. They finally put together. So one step further, if you are unaware, each association has a member or two that sit on the North Star MLS Agent Advisory Council. The Agent Advisory Council is made up of representatives from the associations who are members of it that get firsthand feedback on tools and feature sets, and then they take those recommendations to the board, and the board makes the final decision. As an example, one of the things we've really been fighting for lately that's got me like ready to basically leave North Star MLS is the park models sitting on association land inside of waterfront. Now you will notice that those all have been switched. If you have those type of things in your markets, you will notice that they got switched to lots and land, because technically you don't own real. It's not a real structure, which I have arguments with. But anyway, the reality is that that's what they've had to do. So that was something the Agent Advisory Council said, no, we need this. It went to the board. The board said no. And I said, no, this isn't done yet. So we're still working on that one, by the way. However, waterfront, it came up really out of the Park Rapids office that really brought it to my attention. That was like, hey, why are some listings not showing up? And we started to notice that there was this discrepancy based upon your search criteria, not how it was input into the system. So it had nothing to do with North Star Ad Edit, which was a different program than what Cotality, which is now the back-end system of North Star MLS, used to be Matrix and CoreLogic. So when we started to look at that, then the AAC said, hey, these are some things we found. We brought it. And they said, oh, yeah, we have that too. We've noticed that. And then the conversation blew up. North Star actually pulled together a group of us from northern Minnesota. There were 6 of us, I want to say, on that call, as like a task group to really say, hey, what is broken here and how should it work? And that's when we really started to dive into it. And with RESO standards, which is, the national level of real estate syndication organization, is all making sure that the fields are labeled the same, so you get good data across all MLS providers. Anyway, so the RESO standard states that waterfront basically is indicative of if the property has a boundary on an ordinary high water mark, right? That's what would be defined as waterfront. So when you select yes, I want waterfront, that's why the only 3 you get are lake, river, and association, because one of those properties.
Lake, river, creek, and stream. You said association.
Oh,
Lake, river, creek, and stream. Sorry.
I saw the checkbox, but you are correct. Thank you. Would be the top 3. Sorry. So Lake, river, creek, and stream, because the property one of the property boundaries is abutting an ordinary high water mark. So that is considered waterfront. The other question we said was, well, everything else is really access. So do we need to have a water access? Yes, no, which includes all, right? And my argument was, if the goal is to make it easiest on the end user, meaning the realtor subscribers, the answer is yes, you should have a water access, yes, no. But then through the board and the AA, everybody said, well, that feature already exists. So now it becomes a training issue. So North Star MLS is going to start offering CE, talking about how to better serve the consumer and understand the waterfront search stuff and all that. That'll be coming out. But right now, the OR feature is the big thing. And Katie, we should send out a reminder on how to set up your default search criteria in North Star to include this so that you can set your default, right? So we can send that out to you guys again. Like, that's really easy. Like, I have mine set to the 4 counties that I'm primarily in, my statuses, all that kind of stuff. And so you can set up a default search, remember, so you can have like if you have a specific, buyer pool that's always looking for something, the Park Rapids markets, it would be, the Crow Wing chain, right? Or whatever else, right? They want to be on that group, that chain of links. Well, that's fine. You can set up a default search for that, and then you could continuously add clients to that search. And the same is true in ALEC, right? We have our chain of links, right? You get start going Fargo, they only want to be in, a particular area within demographics, right? Like, so we can really lock that in. So we can send some of that out to you guys. It's just a reminder. This was a long process to ensure that we're actually getting the right information, because it wasn't displaying right in MLS. And for those of you who use MLS to do your automatic searches and your email notification stuff for clients, you were getting a problem because you were missing stuff. And it was North Star's fault. It wasn't edit. It was how North Star was pulling the data and resending it through their third-party provider, which would have been CoreLogic or Cotality now. So that's a lot of word vomit, I guess. But the reality is, I think it's good for you just to have the context to really understand what was going on behind this, because this was a big deal. And I think we fixed it. But if you find a glitch, let me know, because several people at North Star MLS are on a first name basis with me. Some of them like them, some of them don't like that we're on a first name basis. But I don't care, because I'm paying for a service and I'm here to advocate for you. So anyway, thank you.
For all of our brand new agents, for all of our experienced agents that might have also been word vomit, but for all of our brand new agents, don't forget to bring whatever questions you have to the new agent mastermind on Thursday, so I can break down all these pieces for you so you understand what the relationships are.
That seems fair.
Okay. Here's my biggest thing with this one, is that you guys need to go in and check your clients' auto emails that you have set up in North Star, so that you know that they're set up right, so they're getting the properties that they want to see. Okay. Okay. This one's going to be fun. So we did the listing lab this spring. We did the listing league afterwards, right? The listing lab was all about how to build your presentation, how to talk to your seller clients, how to win the listing. The listing league was our competition. Oh, thank you. The listing league was our competition on how many listings you can get based on your production and all these things. And one of the things that we did during the listing league is we did a daily huddle. And so it was 10 or 15 minutes where everybody would jump on and just talk about what they did yesterday, what they're going to do today. It really helped people get in the mindset, in the groove, to be able to move forward during the week. And so a lot of you who are part of the listing league asked us to continue doing the huddles. Now, while I love all of you, I will not be doing a daily huddle every day forever the whole year. That's not happening. However, we are going to start a weekly huddle. This is going to be open to the whole company. Jump in whenever you can. It'll be at 8:40 a.m. on Monday morning. Get you ready for your week. Get your mindset in place. Hopefully that's just after everybody's dropping off kids. You've gotten up and you've gotten your coffee, or at least poured it into your cup. So just jump on. You'll see the notice go out. I will not send reminders out for this. I will for the first couple weeks. I won't going forward, right? Because it is a weekly thing. When I send out the invitation, it'll show up on your Google Calendar. That's always where the Google Meet link will be. So if you're ever looking for it, that's where you want to go. But otherwise, it's just going to be a quick get together. What are you struggling with? What are you winning on? How can we help? And what are you going to do this week to move your business forward? So it's going to be a good time. And if you can't come to all of them, that's okay. Just come to a couple. Jay, you had talked about that you liked the huddles. What was one of the things that you loved about the huddles? Oh, I think you're on mute.
There we go. I really
There we
like the collaboration and the opportunity for just the overall discussion of problem solving or
go.
what was going on that day, but also accountability.
Yeah. And our new agents, this is a great time, 10, 15 minutes every Monday morning for you not only to learn, but to ask the questions for the stuff that's going on. Okay. My next wonderful thing is talking about Remy again, because I love Remy. So for those of you who don't know, Remy is our Crown AI agent that is built specifically with Minnesota and North Dakota law within its system, as well as our Crown policies. What I have been noticing from you guys is that you're using it to stage photos, which is totally fine. Don't forget to put the virtually staged on there, right? Whether in the description on the MLS or on the photo. My recommendation always is on the photo, but there's that. But what's happening is that people are getting frustrated because Remy's not doing what they want. And in talking to you guys, it's mostly about you guys not giving enough information. Okay. So this is what I did to kind of show you guys what to do. So this is the original photo that I had, right? And this first one, I told Remy, put some bathroom stuff in this photo for me. And this is what it did. Okay. Not bad, but like there's no mirror. That's what I wanted, really. No mirror. It put some towels on the table. It put a shower curtain, not in where there should be a shower curtain, right? And then it just threw a rug on top of the other rug. So
notice how
this
it's
one,
bent though. Just put like the rug on top of the rug.
it
That's
is.
the little crease. Like that's
It's pretty good, right?
Sorry. Yep. Kind of impressed by it.
So then the next chat that I did was I put in the same photo and I specifically told it what I want. I said, please put a mirror on the wall, put some tasteful decorations on top of the counter, put a picture above the toilet, and put a shower curtain in the shower opening that's in the left-hand side of the photo. And I had to put left-hand side of the photo because if you look at these pictures here, Remy can't tell that that's a shower, right? We know it's a shower because we're adults and we have been into multiple houses many times. And we're like, oh yeah, that's probably a shower. However, that could also be a hallway. You don't know for sure. So with giving it the very specific direction, which yes, takes a minute of your time longer than just saying stage this, right? You will come out with a better outcome and you will be less frustrated. Okay.
Look how it also put the shower curtain in the mirror on the far right one. Like just the small little detail. Sorry. Nerding out. Love it.
Oh, that's great.
He's such a smart little mouse.
Yeah, he is. He does a great job. I will say if you do add mirrors to anything, watch what it puts in the mirror because sometimes it adds stuff that doesn't exist. It's just guessing what's on the backside, right? So just watch that. If it does ever do that, you can tell it to remove that image from the mirror. Okay. If you ever get to the point where you're in a chat with Remy and like he's screwing up all over the place and you're like, I need this picture. And he shows you a brand new random picture that he's just generated that has nothing to do with the picture that you uploaded, just start a new chat. It means Remy has got confused and overwhelmed and he needs a break. just start a new chat and start over, and he'll be able to fix it for you. Okay? Any questions about that one? Cool. All right. July training this month. So once again, our trainings and our masterminds are on specific days based on the week. Our trainings on the second Tuesday of each month, and our masterminds on the third Wednesday. This month, those fall on the same week. So our training is going to be on the 14th next week, so a week from today, and our mastermind will be on the 15th. We've been seeing a lot of facilitator deals come through, which is great, right? People already have buyers, and they just need you to facilitate the deal, or they're selling to their family. And so there's a lot of questions that we're getting about facilitation, what that representation actually is and what it means, and what you should do when you're talking to people about a facilitation. So we're going to do a training on that next Tuesday. And then the mastermind, I've been reading this wonderful book called AI Visibility. Let's see, can you see it? No? Can you do my face? There we go. AI Visibility for Sales. And if you've been in the business long enough, or if you've been around just in business in general long enough, you know that the internet has changed how people find you multiple times throughout its initial iteration, right? So when Google, oh, Jay's got it too. Jay, do you want to talk with me about it on the mastermind? Yes. Um, so it has changed. How people find you on the internet has changed over the last 30, 25 years, right? First, they would find you on search engines, and the search engines were all about how much traffic you got to your website, right? If you got more traffic, you got higher on the search engine results, and it was better. Then they started paying for advertising. And so you could jump ahead of everybody and just pay for advertising at the top. But if your search engine optimization, if your SEO was good enough, if you had enough blog posts where the system could find you, then you'd still show up at the top just underneath those advertising. Then Facebook, social media, all those things, everybody's been pushing into that and how you got it. If any of you are young enough or old enough to remember when businesses would put on Facebook, hey, like, share, and comment on this post, and we'll give you a free $20 gift card, right? That was because they were trying to get the search engine to show their business page to their people all the time, because that's how Facebook worked at that point. Then Facebook and all of the other social medias moved to a pay to play program. So if you want your business to show up in front of people, you need to be paying money to do that. Now we're moving into an AI world, right? And I'm sure you guys have seen on like Google that it gives you an AI search result, an AI overview first. And you need to know how you are showing up in those AI search results. And so that's what this class is going to be all about, is how to find out how you're showing up in those AI search results and how to optimize your profiles to be able to get into those AI search results. Because currently we don't have to pay yet, but I guarantee that'll be coming. Just FYI. I'm sure, have you guys already seen ads on some of your AI things that you've been using? You'll never see ads on Remy, just so you know. Perfect. Now I have my stats, but Mr. Brandon, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do your stats, and if we have time, then we'll end with something what I think is a little bit more fun. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good. I think stats are fun. Come on.
Sure they are. I'm just kidding. Stats are mostly fun.
Well, okay, let's go back. So when I do these stats, my goal is to give you guys informed information so that when somebody asks you, how's the market, you have some data to be able to talk about that isn't 6 months or a year old. That's my goal when I do these stats with Kat, right? Also, don't call me Kat. That was Brandon's thing. My name is Katie. Thank you.
I don't think I put there, actually. Did
Huh?
I do that?
No, I think we talked about it in a meeting, and I was like, "Yep, that rhymes. That sounds good."
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about supply of inventory today, supply of inventory, days on market. Um, what were the other things? Showings depending, all of those things. I want to kind of show you what's happening in the markets with all of those things. So this is our supply of inventory right now in 2026. And we're going to talk about Alexandria, Sauk Center, and Crosby Ironton first, and then we'll get into our Park Rapids and Fargo Moorhead market. Okay. So Alexandria, everybody's going up. Their supply of homes that are on the market are going up. We're in between 3 and 4 months of inventory between all of those areas, which means we are still in a seller's market. Anything under 4 is a seller's market. Anything between 4 and 6 months of inventory is a balanced market. Anything over 6 is a buyer's market. Okay. So when people ask you, how's the market? I hear the market's crashing. You can be like, well, no, it's still a seller's market, right? It's moving, it's shifting, but this stuff takes time to be able to shift. We've seen the biggest jump in the Crosby Ironton area and in the Sauk Center area so far. Alexandria seems to be just holding steady, just slowly growing. Okay. And we can also see that in the days on market. Because we have more homes on the market, our properties are staying on the market longer. My guess is that this 33 number in the Alexandria area from 2025 was because something that was on the market for a really long time sold and it skewed the numbers. Okay. So if you follow this line, everybody's just going up slowly. But what I find interesting is that the Crosby Ironton area, their supply of homes is going up. They're our highest right now in this group of 3, but they're our lowest days on market in any area, which is great. They're either having good pricing conversations, or they're running through listings. So if anybody has any insight on that, I'd love to know why you think that while your month supply is going up, your days on market are not really 22 to 23 to 26. That's pretty good. But here's the other piece with that. Now, this is average showings depending. So based on all of the listings that we have, divide them by all of the showings that they've had, and that will tell you how many showings you need before you get an accepted offer. That's what this graph is showing. So in all of our areas, we're in about that 10 range, which is why when we talk to sellers, we talk to them about 10 showings or 10 days, right? If we don't get an offer within 10 showings, and here's that data to show that, or 10 days, we need to be changing our price. We need to be doing something different. We need to be updating photos. Okay. This has been pretty steady, that you need about that many showings to get an offer. Here's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about that. So this is how many showings per listing. So our inventory is going up. We know it takes about 10 showings to get to a pending status for our listings. But in a month, on average, our homes are only getting 2.5 showings. Now, some of them are going to be higher, some of them are going to be lower, but this then verifies that our days on market are going to be longer. To get to that 10 showings to get an accepted offer, it's going to take you 4 months, right? Now, again, some of them are going to be quick, some of them are going to be fast, but on average, we're about 2. So be having these conversations with your sellers when you're listing your properties, so that they're aware that this is not 2021 anymore. We are not seeing offers the next day or 2 days before you even have the property on the market for over ask, right? We're getting back to a normal market. We are almost at a balanced market. Therefore, this is going to take a couple months, which is normal, to be able to get an accepted offer and get your home closed. Okay. Okay, let's look at that same data, except for our Park Rapids, Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead area. Park Rapids is in blue, Fargo is in red, West Fargo's in green, and Moorhead's in purple, right? We can see our Park Rapids office is the first one here to hit that balanced market area. Yay for us. The Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead area are all within that 3 months of inventory, which is good. That means you're still in a seller's market. The other piece of that is it's going to be hard to get listings because there's not as many listings to go get, right? Here's your average days on market. You guys are about 2 months, 2.5 months average days on market. Both Park Rapids and the Fargo Moorhead area. So that's pretty steady, pretty good. You can see again in the Park Rapids area, we must have had an anomaly at some point because it went way up to 86 last year. But if you just follow this trend line, we're no better or worse than we were. There, Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead, your showings to a pending agreement are 8. So you have less. It's good. It means you need less showings to get a pending offer. That's good. You just got to get people in the door, right? And Park Rapids is 7. Then showings per listing, we're still at about the same amount, right? 1.8, so we have less buyer activity in the Park Rapids area, 2.4, 2.5, and 2.3 in our Fargo Moorhead areas. So you have about the same activity as the Alexandria and Fargo areas. So again, if we're looking at, you need 8 showings before you get an accepted offer. On average, we have 2.5 showings a month, right? We're looking at about 3 months on the market. Okay. Hopefully that helps you guys when you talk to your clients about what's happening in the market. Does anybody have any questions about any of those stats? Do you want to see anything else? No? Have I blown your mind? Or have I put you to sleep?
My
One of the two?
mind is blown.
All right. We have about 9 minutes, Mr. Brandon.
Sounds good. Do you guys, let me ask you this. Do you guys want to do a little trivia, or do you want me just to get through the slide deck and be done? I got all the time in the world for whoever's going to throw something in the chat or whatever else is totally fine. Actually, that's not true. I have 8 minutes. I take it back. I have 8 minutes.
Let's do the trivia.
Okay.
Cool. I love it. I love trivia.
All right. Okay. So here you go. A little bit of fun for you today as we enter in the busy season, because sometimes life is too complicated and it can just be a little fun. So my first question for you is this: what is the most expensive private home ever built? Buckingham Palace, Antila in Mumbai, the Biltmore Estate, or the Hearst Castle?
Oh, Megan says Biltmore.
Okay, I should open my chat if people are going to actually respond here. That's pretty good.
I love it.
Anthony says B. Okay.
Yeah, Mumbai. Keegan says A. Regina says B.
See,
Buckingham
you do a little
Palace.
trivia, and all of a sudden you get engagement from everybody. It's weird.
I know. I'm so excited. I love trivia.
Keegan smirks at me from across the Park Rapids office, so thanks. What a turd. Unbelievable. Okay. So Antila Mumbai is the most expensive private home that has ever been built. Okay, so well done. Talk about MLS origins. In what decade did the MLS concept first appear on record, okay, in the US? 1880, 1920, 1950s, 1970s. In what decade did the MLS concept first appear?
Mm. All right, Jay says
Jay says
19.
20.
Yep, 20s.
Logan?
Logan's 20s. Keegan says the 70s. I'm gonna say the 50s. Chris says the
50s?
70s.
Okay. Because this
I
is
know,
so funny.
everybody's jumping in. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna quit doing, things for your business. We're just gonna show up and have fun in these meetings from now on. Okay. So the MLS origins, believe it or not, first appeared in the 1880s. Okay.
You're
And
all
this is when
wrong.
brokers. Yep, you are all learning something new, which is exciting. It first came when brokers would come together to share them. They used to be at the saloons. The fun story, because I'm an Alexandria guy and I know this for a fact, they used to go down to Osterberg's Cafe every Tuesday morning. The broker of records would walk down with their book of listing inventory, sit at Osterberg's Cafe, put their books on the table, and then they would walk around with their breakfast and their cups of coffee and flip through the books, right? Like that's as far back as I know at Alec and what they used to do. And now we have this thing called the internet, which is kind of wild. So there you go. Fun trivia. Okay. Lucky door color. Which color sells homes the best? What front door color? Oh, I left the answer on there. That's dumb. All right. Well, the correct answer is black, just in case you're wondering. Studies from Zillow revealed that homes with black doors, so they had an algorithm go through and run it that said homes with black doors are currently enhancing the curb appeal and getting more money. I think that's a trend and it will fade. But nevertheless, black doors are the ones that matter. I can't believe I left the answer on there as I was putting that together. That was dumb. Anyway, question number 4. How many bathrooms are in the White House?
Oh,
35. Okay.
I'm gonna go big or go home. I'm gonna say 50.
50. 35 bathrooms.
35.
Regina, did you actually know that or was it a guess?
Yes.
Yeah, guy, yes.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, here's one a little bit more relevant, right? What's the average number of homes a buyer views before purchasing? This is actually legitimate for your business. Knowing how many bathrooms are in the White House is just a fun fact, right? In case you're trying to impress some client, but this is actually something that's meaningful to you. So there's that to consider. A, C, B, you guys are all over the charts here. 3, 8 to 10, 20, 15. My favorite is too many, which is fine.
Which is fair, yes.
Yeah, I know. Just buy one and let's be done.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's your longest buyer client, Brandon?
Oh,
How long did you show them homes before they bought?
3.5 years, I want to say.
Okay. Mine was 3. Yep. Jay says 3. Yep.
I think it's 3.5, and it was in the 40s, like the number of homes we sold. It was the first time I put a clause in there that said you are now going to pay me for every home we go to.
Down here.
So,
right.
Anyway, it's part of the whole thing. So anyway, 8 to 10 homes is the average number of homes a buyer views. So again, you could use this. We tell you to use 10 showings, 10 days with listings. You can also say 8 to 10 homes is that midpoint when maybe you redo your buyer consult just to make sure you're doing the right thing. What else did I have in here? Oh, this is a fun one. Monopoly properties are named after streets in which real city? Logan says New York City.
Yeah.
Jay says New
New York
City.
City.
Okay. Keegan's not paying attention because I can see her. Katie's engaged though, so that's good.
Regina says Atlantic. Megan says New York City. Oh, Megan says no, Atlantic. Keegan says New York City.
Way to go, Keegs. I see you. Literally. Yep. Oh, way to play. Okay. I love it. Boardwalk in Atlantic City. The boardwalk down there is a vibrant destination known for its entertainment, dining, and iconic architecture. I've been there. It's not that great. I'm gonna be honest with you, but maybe I'm going to the wrong parts. What do I know? Anyway, what state has the highest homeownership rate? California, West Virginia, Texas, or the great state of Minnesota? No offense, North Dakota. Love you.
I'm going to say Minnesota. I don't know this answer.
Okay. C, West Virginia.
Okay.
Mountain Mama.
Oh yeah.
Sad
Sing
day
it.
for the U.S. men's national team. I'm going to tell you, last night we got our butts kicked, ladies and gentlemen. It was not a pretty thing at the World Cup.
Oh, soccer.
Um,
I got it. Okay.
Soccer. Yeah. Okay. Stick around, you guys.
Keegan says West Virginia.
I feel like Keegan is just throwing this stuff into AI right now to get answers back. That's what I feel like she's doing. Oh, she's shaking her head no at me, but okay. I was
I'm working
making an
on
assumption.
inputting like 3 listings. So
Well, that
I'm
sounds
using
like a
my
terrible
phone
problem.
for this, and I'm using my computer to do my input forms.
You guys, if you ever gotta come to Park Rapids, it's super fun because I got Katie through one window and then I got Keegan, and it's like the sassiest people in my life right now are just like right there. It's very entertaining. The answer is West Virginia, which is pretty fun. Their homeownership rate is over 75%, which is kind of wild. The state's affordability is also among the highest, which is why it makes it one of the most accessible for homeownership rates. Anyway, tiebreaker, and my last one for you today. What year was the National Association of Realtors founded? New agents who hopefully will have gone through new member orientation will know this. Who the heck knows? You should know, Keegan. It's an important piece of data. 1921, Regina's close.
Okay.
Closer than any other guess. I'll put it that way. It's
Closer
the
than
closest
any other.
guess.
Right? Oh, Anthony says 1927.
We're getting colder, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
1908 is the year the National Association of Realtors were founded. This tells me, by the way, that apparently we need to do more fun trivia things for you guys because everybody really likes a good trivia night, which is so funny. So here, that's what we learned. The other stuff inside the deck, ladies and gentlemen, is all going to come around stuff that you hopefully know, like, and trust. Which is going to be part of the members of the Facebook group, making sure that you're aware that we're here to help you and all of the fun things. The one thing I do want to continue to remind you of is the link tree. Hopefully you guys and gals remember that link tree is out there as a very big value add in what we are building and continuing to do more of. Katie's going to put it up on the screen. Faith does a great job making sure this is updated. I highly recommend that you bookmark this thing and put it on your phone's home screen. And kind of work through it. That's going to be the big thing that I'm going to suggest you do. So anyway, that is all. It's 10:01, which we're a minute past. But I learned something about you guys today. You all like trivia, so we might have to do a little bit more of that in the coming days. So with that, have a great rest of your day, guys. Have a great month of July. Please let us know how we can help you. Bless you. Love you. Thanks for all that you're doing to impact lives through real estate. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.